Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first video. It looks like I'm in the beautiful Australian outback, but I am in New Zealand. I've got a big ass canvas behind me with a picture of Australia, and I thought it would be cool to have this as my backdrop. So today I'm going to be pretending I'm in Australia. And yes, so I am in New Zealand. I've been back in New Zealand for 2 weeks or so. I haven't really filmed since I've been back because my partner has work off until May, so we've kind of just been traveling around the country and visiting friends and family, and yeah, I've been too busy hanging out to film, I guess. But I am really excited to film a look today because I'm going to be using my Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, which I already know is amazing. I've used it 2 times. And yeah, so we're gonna do a nice purple look today, obviously. Well, actually it's not obvious, sorry, it's not obvious. But yeah, we'll be using the purple shades in the palette today. So let's get on into the tutorial. Okay, so as per usual, I've got my eyebrows done and a base on the eye. So the base that I'm using is the P.Louise base in the shade Rumour 0, which is the white base, because we want the colour to be as vibrant as possible, and using a white base is going to do that. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a, oh my gosh, that is so bright you can't see it, a small blending brush, and for comparison's sake, I will pop that alongside a regular sized blending brush, and that is just going to make sure that we get the product in a nice defined area, but keeping it nicely blended as well. And if you don't have one of these, then you can just use something like this, a little pencil brush or a domed crease brush, and then you'll just have to do a little bit more blending afterwards, but that's not a problem at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with, wow, this is like a really hard palette to hold, like to show you guys. I'm going to go in with this shade here called Dungeon, and this is going to be the first crease color. So I'm going to pack this into the crease, and I'm going to apply this in kind of circular motions by tapping and, you know, then swirling it around to make sure that the edges are nicely blended out, so that when we add in the next shade, it's going to be a lot easier to blend. I'm going to try and keep this in the crease as much as possible, because when we blend it out a bit more, it's going to lift the dark color up a bit more as well. So we don't want to be starting too high, because then it's going to take over the whole, you know, eye. Okay, I look very... Alright, I'm looking a little bit freaky right now, but let's move on to the next step and hope that it gets better from here. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go in with this domed crease brush, and I'm taking, oh my gosh, this is terrible for like holding. Alright, this shade here called Scandal Water, and I'm applying this in the same way that I applied the last shade. But what I'm doing is I'm doing above the darkest crease color, and I'm going to go half on the dark shade Dungeon and half on the blank skin above that. And I'm going to try to blend these in slightly by swirling it around a bit and, yeah, you know, blending. But I'm not going to worry too much about the blend at this point, because I will go back in and blend those all out a lot nicer afterwards. Alrighty, so we've got those 2 purple shades in the crease, and they're slightly blended out, but not really. Yeah, at least it's on there, and we've got the colour really packed on, so it means that, you know, it's going to look vibrant and purple, which is what we want, not washed out. So now we're going to blend those shades out and, you know, blend out the edges. So I'm taking this shade here called Your Majesty, and I'm popping that on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to just use this to buff out the edges of that purple that we've got in the crease, and just make those edges nice and blurred. And then what I'm going to do as well during this step is I'm going to go back and forth between, you know, all 3 shades and apply those and blend and apply and blend and apply and blend until we get a nice you know, even blend with a blurred out edge. Okay, so we've got all those colours blended out. It did take me forever to get this right, and I had to change brushes. For the Scandal Water I had to switch to a blending brush, and I also went and blended the edges out with the white shade Virgin from the Jeffree Jawbreaker palette, just because I wasn't happy with the way that Your Majesty was blending out. It was kind of giving it a bit of a like dirty kind of look, so yeah, I went ahead and used the white for that instead. And yeah, I'm not completely happy with the way it's blended at the moment, but I'm trying to be not so hard on myself, and I'm sure it will look a lot better once I've carved the crease out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with some micellar water and a concealer brush, and I'm going to use this to carve out my crease and remove all the product off of my eyelid, so that I can get it prepped for the base that I'm going to put on there to actually carve out the crease. And then once I've done that, I'm going to just wipe all the product off using a cotton tip. Alright, now that we've got the eyelid prepped to do the cut crease, we're going to do the cut crease. So to do that, I'm going to take a flat rounded concealer brush and my P.Louise base, and I'm going to do a full cut crease. I'm going to apply this using a patting, dabbing motion instead of a swiping motion, because that's going to make sure that the purple doesn't mix in with the base and make it go purple instead of white. Okay, so we've got the crease carved out, and the next thing that we're going to do is obviously place the eyeshadow on top of the base that we've just applied onto the lid. And the shade that I'm going to use for that is this shade here called Beauty Sleep. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to apply the darkest crease colour to the outer third of my eye, and I'm going to blend that out slightly. And it's important that we do that at this step, because if we don't do it now, it's going to make it so much harder to blend out once we've got all the other colours on. So we're applying Dungeon there, and then the next shade, Scandal Water, we're going to blend into that Dungeon shade, and then we're going to blend that into Beauty Sleep, which is going all over the lid. Next I'm going to apply the base to my under eye, and I'm going to apply Dungeon and Scandal Water to my lower lash line. And I'm not actually going to worry about Your Majesty because I'm not liking that shade, so I'm just not going to use it. And I'm going to apply Dungeon, the darkest purple, first, and blend that out using Scandal Water. In my waterline, I'm going to be applying my NYX Vivid Brights cream colour. This is in the shade Sugar Rush, and I'm just going to be applying this with a small detailed eyeliner brush. Okay, so my camera decided it wanted to die on me, so I just went and did my face makeup and applied some lipstick. The lipstick that I used was my Lime Crime Lip Blaze in the shade Cash. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some highlight. So I'm going to use the shade from the palette, this one here called Wet Jewel. And I'm going to use that as my face highlighter and to highlight my eyes. So I'll go in with two different brushes. I'm going to use this small pencil brush and this large fluffy highlighting brush. Next I'm just going to quickly apply some of my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Okay, now last thing left to do is just to apply mascara and lashes. So the lashes I'm going to be using today are, surprise surprise, XO Beauty Faux Mink lashes. These ones are in the style Cupid. I'm going to pop these on off camera and then I'll be back to show you guys the completed look. Okay, so here we have the completed look with lashes. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please thumbs up and subscribe and tick that little bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in the next one.